Well, for a winter project, I thought I'd turn some alley drink cans into a model steam engine.
Not like this exactly.
Now, I haven't got a lathe or a milling machine, and only a few rudimentary tools. So I knew it would be a challenge. Several people told me I couldn't do it, you know. So I thought, oh, well, if people tell me I can't do it, that's a good enough reason to do it, isn't it? So I thought I'd have a go and see.
Not much enthusiasm. The only thing is, I don't have any plans, and so it can't go wrong, can it?
Anyway, I was given a gas bottle, and I cut it up to make a furnace.
The next job is to decide.
And it turned out alright. The problem was, I also, by the way, got a fire extinguisher, which I made a crucible. I got some sand and cement, ordinary sand and cement, which has worked, by the way. You don't need high temperature cement. And it melted some cans. You know, we had a few problems to start with. I made some ingots. Then I melted some more cans.
That plastic smoke didn't do any good, I don't think, but, you know, I might last.
And I cast some usable ingots. That's me pouring the large one that I had to use for the base, although I didn't quite get enough melted. I then decided to make a wooden mould for a flour wheel. And I coated it in cement.
Well, I did this last night.
But the problem is I didn't dry it out. I know what the problem is, and it all boiled up and ruined it. So that's something we can probably do in the future, just to show it works. So we had a laugh anyway. As you can see, it would have worked if I'd dried it out.
It's been fun, hasn't it? Come on, be honest.
But it would have been difficult. Anyway, I cast another one in a tin can this time, and that one worked.
And I cast in that can.
There was a lot of hacksawing and filing. Very, very hard work. Filing these ingots down. It really was hard work. Anyway, I found I could still saw straight, which was a bonus. I made a little balancer to balance the flour wheel. Then I marked it out. And I drilled it. Surprising how much the drill moves when you use worn drills. Anyway, I balanced it, drilling the edges, and I got it almost spot on. So, a bit pleased with that, to be honest, and it looked alright.
Anyway, you can see it.
But it was still slightly out.
There we are, it runs. Maybe about an inch.
Then I got one of my ingots, and I actually made a piston. Blooming chuffed with that, to be honest.
And so you can see that's a long
Filed and sanded it to fit a tube that I had for a liner. So I re-trued the flour wheel and got it almost spot on. I tried drilling the block. That was a failure. Anyway, I cut it out, and that's worked. I also tried to make a connecting rod, which also failed, because I just couldn't drill through enough.
You remember my last video, I welded that on there.
Anyway, we made another connecting rod, and I also had the next challenge, which was to make the spool valve. So it was done, more or less done.
You know, making a meal of this.
Well, there it is running, finished and painted, running on air. I've made a little boiler, which has come very good actually. So there we are done, all ready for steam. I swapped to my old camera, so the picture will be a bit smaller, but should be reasonable enough. The idea is I can hopefully zoom in, and it will keep it in focus to show you some of the fine detail. Like all them tiny nuts and washers are made, and you have never seen this, of course, properly. I made that cap, you know, which fits on the outside, you can see, and the shaft runs inside.
and it's adjustable. And I put a bit of card in to try it first, and I've left it because it's got soaked with oil and it's just as good as anything else. So that's that done. I've soldered the pipes in. I cleaned them up, but then I had to redo it again, so that's going to have to be near enough. Yeah, I think that's alright. You can probably see that I've polished all the brasses and copper, look. And the connecting rod, the spool valve connecting rod, I can now show you that close. So it's not turned out too badly, has it? And now the boiler, by the way, because I made a good job of that, I was going to paint it yesterday, and I was going to get some of that high temperature exhaust paint. Anyway, I couldn't, well, for different reasons, I couldn't pop round. So I suddenly realised I'll leave it, because eventually that should go rusty. Now the thing is, rust's a colour. Most people, they see something rusty and they say, oh, are you going to clean it and paint it? Well, paint's different colours, rust's a colour. You know, and so in time, you know, I've got some stuff would actually speed up the process, or I could leave it outside, but the thing is, if that goes a bit rusty, well, eventually it'll look like a rusty boiler with a reconditioned engine, won't it? So that's nice. I can also show you the flywheel now in fine detail, which you've never seen before. So that's alright, and those balancing holes look good. Moving around the other side, we can now get close enough to show you everything in there. You see, it was all quite a tight fit, and then there was the crank journal, which still isn't quite square, but the thing is, this nut, which I did make and tap by hand, has actually come fairly square, so I'm chuffed with that. And that brass connecting rod is possibly one of the best bits I've done, decorative wise. I think you'll agree with that. And it's all quite nicely made, look. So yeah, that's in the end, I'm sure you'll agree, that's turned out alright. The piston does just appear at the bottom of the stroke, you see, so I've got that about right, I think. Those brass screws, I was actually going to, well, I tried to polish them, I've got some more, but they, I don't know, they're a bit grubby, so they look better black, so I've left them black. So that's that. That on there, what I did, I put some gasket cement around it, just to seal it a bit. I'm not worried if it leaks a little bit, you see. And I drilled through a screw, as I did in the head, and then I put a nut on, just on the screw, and tightened it up to this. So that's how I've done that. I drilled and tapped this nut on the head, as you know, and it's only got a couple of threads in aluminium, and I've had it off about 3 or 4 times, and it has come very slightly loose, you know, the threads haven't quite held. Anyway, so I've been gentle with it, put it in and put some gasket cement around, so that'll be alright. There's a little bit of pressure on it, I mean it'll be alright, it's just that as I say, there's just not enough threads in the head. You know, there's only about 2 threads, I think, because it's so small. So that's done that. I was actually thinking of another idea in the first place. And so that's it, I think. So we'll just give you a walk round now. And then we're all ready for steam. How about that? I've made it steam only, because you don't want a steam engine on here, do you? Why would you want that? And there's probably one other thing I might do. Might even be done beforehand. that is the exhaust hole just there. But I've got this pipe up now, but I thought a short chimney on there made out of just a bit of copper pipe, something like that might look alright. Well, I was going to, but as I say, now I've got this pipework, which actually I think you'll agree it looks quite nice and in keeping, doesn't it? So it puts it in some sort of proportion, so I think I'll leave that. And so I've done most of it. Still got that, take that off and put some washers on, but now you might laugh at this. Under there, I think I mentioned, there should be a screw, right, to go in the base plate. Anyway, I'm going to leave that out. Why? Well, I'll tell you why, because when I take this and show my mates, they've got to moan about something. So if I leave something out that's deliberate, they can moan about that and probably not about something else. So there we are. So that's more or less it, isn't it? So as I say, we'll try and rig something up to make it interesting and give it a run on Steam and just see what happens. You know, we can't do any more, can we? But no, it's, you know, I think you've got to agree it's not turned out too badly at all, has it? At the end of the day. Right, so I've just done this short bit, you know, on the end of my other video, showing you the whole build from the start. Right, thanks for your interest. Cheers, and as I say, next day or two you should see it steaming away.